What is going on, everyone? I'm Steve, hashtag Team No Sleeves from Burke Family 54 Comics. Welcome to another live stream. Today we're going to be talking about Comic Cons, tips, tricks, and advice. Before we do that, though, let's hit that intro. Let's bring in the two panel members. We got Karate Kevin.
No sleeves, baby.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
I don't know. I just got really pumped.
You know what you should do? Since you have a green wall behind you, you should try the green screen thing on here and see what it does. See if it changes it to make your walls like brick.
Where do I go?
I don't know.
Green screen. But the thing is, I need to have the paid one to go to do it.
Oh, okay.
Snap.
You know, hey, speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up, Kevin. Because if you are interested in joining StreamYard, hit my affiliate link in the description of all my videos. I just became an affiliate for them, so yeah.
Whoa.
Hit it up. It's the same price for you. I just get a little something for getting people to sign up.
You get a little something, huh?
I get a little something. What time is it? It's Morphin time. What's going on? Two bros, wheelchair superhero 87.
It's actually 9:05 Eastern Standard Time.
8:05 Central Time, real time. Ruben Guzman, hello. Robert, what's going on? What up, dude? How are you doing?
What's up, Robert?
My best advice for con is a backpack, cash, comfy shoes, store folio, food, water, and use panels as a break time. Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about that. DJ Links, he's got something planned coming up. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I'm like 99% sure I know what it is. 95%. Obviously, Dave is here. Jonathan Michael is here. Bart, what up, dude? I think he is. Yeah, I checked in with him today. He hasn't been in any streams or anything, so I messaged him, and apparently he's not doing too hot. So, what up, Sector? How's it going?
Paul.
So we decided to do a live stream. We've been trying to do one for quite a while.
We've been trying to get together for a while.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
And finally, we all got together. We're like, all right, let's just do one. Let's just do it Sunday night. Dave just went to a con, and he thought it would be a good idea to talk about Comic-Con stuff. And so, Dave, why don't you talk about what con you went to, how long you went, and all that stuff. You did a video on it too, so you don't have to say everything. But
I just dropped a video on it yesterday. I was at Terrificon at Mohegan Sun. Personally, I think it's one of the best, if not the best, convention in New England to go to. It's more focused on content, comic creators, and comic book vendors. So with a little bit of celebrities, if you want to do that as well. But it's more focused on the comics. I went there on Friday. Today was the last day, and I was there for a few hours. Picked up a couple of books, met a couple of YouTube creators, and some comic book creators. Had a good time.
Nice. And do you go every year?
Last year I did not go, but I went the prior 2 years. I did, yeah.
Okay.
I try to go to this convention out of all of them in the area.
Yeah, okay. I would agree with Dave. It's probably one of the best Comic Cons to go to in New England. Like you said, it is very comic oriented. It's not like a pop culture con where they still use the term Comic Con. You know what I mean? Right. There is a plethora of comic book vendors. Artist Alley is huge with writers and such. So this is if you're a comic fan, this is definitely the Comic Con to go to.
Yep. And I feel like a lot of people in the area will agree that this is probably the best comic related convention to go to in New England.
Mm-hmm.
So there is still New York Comic Con coming up, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And then there's the Boston Expo coming up. I'm just talking about ones near you guys, right?
Yeah.
So you're planning on going to either one of those?
I'm not going to any cons.
No. I'm not going to Boston Fan Expo. I just looked at their panel. It's more celebrity based than anything else. They don't have any big, legendary content, comic creators there. And New York Comic Con, I try to avoid because I feel like it's more of a fan expo than anything else.
Yeah, same. So like Fan Expo, I mean, when the first times I used to go to Boston Fan Expo, it was a little more comic oriented, but this soon after turned into a pop culture con. You know what I mean? So and the reason I say I'm not going to any cons this year because here's a thing that's happened to me during the pandemic is that I haven't missed cons too much actually. Seeing Dave go to Terrific Con made me a little jelly. I did want to go. But the reason why I haven't gone is because the pandemic taught me that without going to cons, it has allowed me to target the books that I actually want to get, and there hasn't been any setbacks.
Yeah. There is another con that the other one in the area is Rhode Island Comic Con, and that's in early November. And that one too is starting to become more of a pop culture related convention. They do, they have a lot of celebrities. They have tattoo artists come there and everything. So really, I think Terrific Con's the way to go if you like comic book collecting. True.
I mean, Rhode Island Comic Con has become more and more of a dud every single year.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I do like to go to the small like 1 day shows that you're starting to see more of those pop up in New England.
So
they're coming up in September.
That is a perfect transition because speaking of 1 day cons, I went to a mini con a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
no, it was a week ago.
I think so. Yeah,
in Kansas City, and it was pretty much all comic book vendors. It was in a community center, so it was basically just one big basketball court with 3 rows, and there were a few smaller celebrities there, mostly artists and just comic books. So that was really cool, and I was able to get a few things. I got this guy, Batman 155,
nice.
Silver Age Penguin, detached cover, but I mean the color just pops on it, So it's probably 1L, 1.5. I don't know how much you're doing on that, but I got a great price, $50. There was a bunch of books there that were, quite frankly, overpriced because it was.
Everything's overpriced right now.
Not everything.
Not everything. You gotta pick your battles.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
and they're gonna have another one at the same place in October, but the big one near me is in 3 weeks. It's called Planet Comic Con in Kansas City. And this place is ginormous. It's like Terrific Con times 3. Like I was looking at videos and pictures, and I was like, okay, that's big, but like it's not as big as the one I go to. But the difference is that it's a pop culture con on top of a Comic Con. Like they have a bunch of comic book vendors, but there's a ton of just like there's WWE celebrities there, there's TV celebrities, and that's cool. But it's like not as big comic books. So I'm assuming that's how they draw on more. There's only so many comic book people in the area, so they're like, okay, we got to draw on everyone else. So
it's true.
Are you guys going to C2E2 this year?
Probably not, but I mean, I would love to go to a C2E2 at some point.
I've heard nothing but great things.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I hear like C2E2 is like in second place of San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, I've heard the same. What about you, Dave?
No, I won't be going out that far.
Okay.
I'd like to one day, but no, not this year.
All right, so we've all been to a few cons. I've been to the Planet Comic Con a couple times. I've been to a mini con. So I don't know. Today's live stream, we're going to be just talking about like do's and don'ts, tips, tricks about going to Comic Cons and all of that. So I think the best thing to do is first off find out what con you're going to and find out like what celebrities are going to be there and what vendors are going to be there, and deciding whether or not you want to go for all 3 days or just 1 day or what. Wouldn't you guys agree with that? Like that should probably be the first thing, just deciding where to go, because for you guys, there's a bunch of more cons to pick from.
I mean,
one.
to piggyback off of you, yeah, like, just pretty much what are you budgeting for, and how much are you willing to spend? So that's gonna determine how long you're gonna be there. How long you're gonna be there, what you're gonna do there.
And to answer what Dan was saying, no, I'm not going to New York Comic Con. This Terrificon is going to be the closest I get towards the New York area. I might do Rhode Island Comic Con later this year, but that's a big if. I'm probably going to do the small one-day show in Providence coming up in September. That's about it.
DJ, if you pick me up, I'll go.
Yeah. Come pick us up. We'll go.
Come pick me up. I'll go. I'll give you gas money.
There you go. All right. I think so. I don't know. Do you guys have a plan when you go to Comic Cons? Like, okay, I'm hunting for a specific book or specific types of books, or like you just go and you're like, I'm just gonna look and find the best deals and stuff, or
a little bit of both.
So that, to me, it kind of factors in, like you said, how many days you're going to be there for and how much time you have. Because like when I went to Terrificon on Friday, I was only planning to be there for the afternoon. I was in a pretty tight schedule. I had to be disciplined, know what I want to get, know what I want to spend. And if it's not there at the vendor, I move on to the next place and try to see if they have it. And I don't even bother I ask the guy, do you have this book? Yes or no? And then move on forward. I brought 3 books with me. I wanted to meet specific creators. If they were there, great, I'd get it signed. If not, I got to the facilitator and I paid a little extra just to get it done. And because I was looking for Donnie Cates. Donnie Cates wasn't there in the afternoon when I went there.
Donnie Cates is never there, dude. I swear. Every time I would go there, he appears, you go to his table, and he's just never there.
Yeah. And he was the big draw for Terrificon. And when I went there was already a big line. I was like, screw this. I'm going to talk to the facilitator. CGC was not even there. And that was they weren't there. CBCS was there. So I had to go to a facilitator and pay for my signatures. So that was big. I wasn't expecting that.
So the facilitator was for CBCS?
No, it was for CGC.
Okay.
CBCS was there.
Okay. I got you.
But I know, kind of like veering off track here a little bit. But so it depends. Do you have the time to spend the whole weekend at the convention? Or do you have just the flexibility to spend one day? And then if you don't, you got to be pretty concise. Are you going to be looking for dollar bin books? You just want to go there for the experience, or are you trying to get a big book? And I was looking for the big book. I was trying to get that 2021, gold book off my list. And that's what I said. I was looking for that Submariner Golden Age book. I only went to one vendor that had it throughout the whole entire con, and that's when we started to talk. So that was my strategy.
So quick question. So you said CGC wasn't there, but there was a CGC facilitator there.
Correct.
Okay, got it. So usually my game plan for cons is, number one, find out who's going to be there. And then I make a mental note on who is going to be there, because as everybody probably knows, I'm a huge signature guy. I love getting my book signed. And then I will, again, make a list of people who I want to see and kind of rank them on like how popular this person is, like, judging on how big the line is going to be, if there's going to be a line. So I try to hit that person up first. Again, it's all about budget. I always try to stick to a budget. Sometimes you go over the budget as well. When it comes to looking for a certain book or looking at books, I do a little bit of both, but it's mostly like, I'm coming here to see what I can find and what's going to pique my interest. Like, is this worth taking home with me? But I can have a list of books. Like if I went to Terrificon, I would be looking for a Giant Size X-Men #1. That would have been the book that I was gonna go look for. But it's definitely to see what piques my interest and and go from there. I usually don't see like too much of the big celebrities. I don't really care about like TV show celebs or movie celebs. It's all about the comic book people for me. So, it's just and the number one rule is to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I want to go through a couple comments here. Cons are overrated. Internet has made them kind of irrelevant. Unless you want the con experience or want to cosplay and meet your favorite creator or celebrity in person, stay home and save money. Interesting. Okay.
I love the positive intake.
I think they're talking about C2E2. I guess if a person has never been to a con, it's worth at least once for the experience, but they're really overrated and expensive. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the person you are for sure. I like the experience of things, like going to sporting events, cons.
And that was a lot of what I did right off the bat. I needed to look to see who was there at Terrificon and what books like were worth me bringing to get signed and pay the extra money for the facilitator, the grading fees, all that hoopla that goes into it. And I only bought 3 books with me because Donnie Cates was there, and then the other book was I wanted to meet Scott Hanna to get that Bloodstone book signed.
Cool.
So that was it. That was the only 2 people I wanted to meet.
And like when I'm there too, like I hardly ever look through like dollar bin books. I mean, it sounds very snobbish of me, right? But I like if it's something that I can find every day at my comic book shop, like unless it's like a book that I really, really, really want, or it's like in like pristine condition, then I'm gonna take it. But like if it's a book that I can find every single day at a comic book shop, like I'm not gonna bother with those boxes. I'm there for the experience to see these mega big books or clean books. That's what I'm most what I'm there likely for. So like I'm not going to go to a con getting the same experience that I can get at my LCS.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did name it Advice from the Pros.
No, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I did that. Oh boy, Scott Hanna is awesome. Got a watercolor painting of Speedball from him. Nice.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Okay, so you guys talked a lot there, so it gave me time to think about what I was going to say. When I get there, the first thing I do is I go around the whole place, see what all is there. Don't stop at one specific booth unless I see something and I'm like, okay, I need to get. Because most people are like, you need to buy on Sunday because that's the last day that they're there. That's true. They probably will more willing to make deals on Sunday, but I also feel it's a little overrated because they're probably going to other cons too. But definitely Sunday is probably when you're going to get the best prices. But in my opinion, I like to go around everywhere and see where everything is at. So I'm like, okay, I want to head back this place. I want to head back this place, whatever it is. And then if I see something that I want and it's at the right price, I have to have it right away before someone else is going to buy it.
You have to make that judgment call, right? Because
exactly.
Yeah, because it's one of those things like, is that like, I'm going to make a mental note of that and come back to that. But is that something that will last? You know what I mean? Is it at that price where someone will snag it, grab it before I do? You have to make that little call there. You know what I mean? It's just like my friend, a couple of years ago, who wanted that TMNT #1 third print. It was $80. And he was like, I'll come back. And I was like, no, you turn around right now and you go pick that up because that will not be there.
Teach me your skills. Honestly, Kevin said he doesn't like dollar bins. And I'm usually I usually don't like to go through dollar bins either, but I feel like I found a lot of good books in a dollar bin last time. Like there's a lot of run fillers, obviously you're going to find in there. For me, as someone who's trying to complete at some point in the next 1.5 to 2.5 years, a Batman issues 100 through current, I'm going to find a bunch of just Batman fillers.
Right.
The dollar bin. And what's that?
Are you saying that you were finding them at the conventions? You were finding good books in the dollar bins, or you mean
Yeah, and I found good books in dollar bins before. So okay. I always tell the story. I went to Vintage Stock in Topeka, Kansas, which is I don't even know what to say. Like they have used movies, video games, music, all that stuff, comic books, obviously. They had these dollar bins at the end of new stuff. It was all Rebirth. I was just going through it. Found a whole bunch of Wonder Woman some Titans, and I was about to check out. There's a long line. I'm like, wait a second, I saw Teen Titans in there. So I went back, and I was like, Teen Titans 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They had a Teen Titans 12 in there. First Batman Who Laughs for $1, and it was 50% off. So it was
Swipe.
I bought it. I gave it to a friend. He actually already bought one. He sent it to CGC. Both came back next, so he gave me back 9.6 of that.
I remember that.
But like those are like you can find things that other people might miss in the dollar bin. Not saying that's where you need to spend all your time, but I wouldn't dismiss them depending on what you're looking for, obviously. So we had some people who joined us here. Tyler from Shattered Glass Comic Reviews.
I feel like that doesn't happen often though, especially today now with the technology we have, all the apps and the internet. That these dealers there are looking online for these books, making sure they're not putting these books in the dollar bins.
Right. So Carlito Classicos put in the comments, happened to me on a Killing Joke 9.83 years ago. Same thing happened to me with the same exact book too. I saw one for a really great price, and I was like, all right, I'll come back around. And while I went to go pick it up, someone was buying it right there in front of me. It's like,
now you got to do it, right? So
yeah.
What's funny is that like I looked at this and I was like $50. I was like, can I look at that? And he's like, just letting you know it's detached cover. I'm like, oh, well, let me look at it still. I looked at it. I'm like, looks pretty good. But like, I don't like detached covers, obviously. No one does. So I gave it back and I went around the corner. I was looking at other places. I just searched up FMV of what it is. I'm like, okay, that's actually an insane deal. So I went right back within 3 minutes and bought it because I didn't want someone else to buy it. And I feel like that's something you have to do. Like you said, it's a judgment call you have to make.
Yeah.
Decide if that's something you want to get or not. So my next question to you guys is, would you pay over FMV to get a book right then and there? For instance.
I'm sorry, can you say it again? You cut out for a second.
Would you pay over FMV, fair market value, for a book to get it right then and there versus paying a little bit less online and waiting a week or two?
It all depends on what it is for me. Like what kind of book it is. Like, what are we talking about? But probably not. I'm all about saving money and stretching a buck. So if I can find it cheaper on eBay, but sometimes like when I go to the flea market, the same one that Marc Spector goes to, like if it factors in with shipping too, like if I find the book with the same price, like a little bit higher, but like it factors in like shipping costs as well as the same as eBay, I'm gonna, I'll try to haggle and pick up that book too. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
For me, it's going to depend on, like you said, the book. In that instance, like the book I was looking for, the Golden Age Submariner, if the guy was asking $2,000 for it and, I looked online, I couldn't find one, and it was probably now, maybe it was a $1,700 book, who knows? I'm going to buy it because I'm not going to find that book again. It just depends on how scarce the book is. If it's a silver, copper, Bronze Age book, you go online, you can find quite a bit easily, then no, I'm not going to pay over FB.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like it. The reason I ask is because at the con I went to this past weekend, there was an Ultimate Fallout 4 9.8 for $2,800 on the wall.
Okay.
And like it has been more than that before, obviously. But on eBay, like the last whole bunch that have been sold are all been $2,500. So not that I wanted one, but I'm just saying that if a person was wanting one, they might have been like, they may have overpaid for one just to get it then and there.
So for this example, no, I wouldn't have done it. for Fallout, no, I wouldn't have done it.
Have you guys ever negotiated at a con to try to get a better price?
All the time. All the time.
Let's talk about the negotiating tactics, because sometimes they work, and in Dave's case, sometimes they don't.
Like, so when I negotiate, okay, I'm not lowballing, but I mean, I'm going in there like I have nothing to lose. Like, you're either going to accept it or you're not. You know what I mean? So I'm not giving you like a lowball offer, but I'm giving you slightly above that a low ball offer. And then, it always comes back to like meeting in the middle. So then, he tells me where he wants or she, whatever. And we just go back and forth until we, meet on a price. But I got to win though.
Right. Dave, let me hear your thoughts on negotiating tactics. Because
so yeah, you're at a convention and you're there as a dealer. You're there with countless other dealers. So it depends on what you have. If in your example you have an Ultimate Fallout 4 9.8, you're probably not the only dealer there that has that book.
Right.
So if you're looking for that book, I'm probably not going to spend the $2,500 or the $2,800 that you're asking. I'm probably going to use some books to trade with it and maybe give you a little bit of cash so that the dealer feels good on his standpoint that he can move that book that you potentially trade with him and get some hard cash with it. And then he still gets that FMV that he wants for it. You're happy because you potentially didn't spend that much money on that book to trade in. And you both went out that way. In my instance, because I was looking for that one book that one vendor had out of the entire con, he has more of the upper hand than I do. So I got to give him a little bit more value than what he's potentially asking for the book. I did not have $1,500 cash on me, which if I gave him $1,500, probably would have sold it. So I had to use the books I had with me to trade with them. So the books I had with me were worth more than $1,500 FMV. So, and I was happy to trade that to get that book, but he knew that book was scarce. It was a book from 1945. He bought it in a collection. He didn't have much into it. So to him, monetarily wise, it didn't make, too much difference to him what he was selling it for. But obviously he was too attached to the book. So, whatever I gave him outside of cash, he probably wasn't going to sell for it.
I'll tell you though, hold on one second, right before I, there has been many times though, where I've gone to a con and I'll go up to the person and I'll say, what's the best price you can do? And there's times where I didn't even have to haggle because the person just threw out such an outrageous number. And I'm pulling out books right now because I want to like show some of the books that like I didn't even have to do an offer on because these books were just such a great price. So there's a time where I went to a con, right? And someone at the same booth had these 3 books for sale. Okay, we all know these are pretty big books. We got the first Hot on Spidey, first Carnage, a Cameo Venom. I got these for $120, both of them. Okay, and there was one time at a con, Boston Fan Expo, I got this for $80.
Nice.
That's insane.
Terrific Con, the last time I went, I got both of these for $120.
Nice.
Total or 120?
Total for both of these books.
Wow, that 189 looks nice.
I
mean, still. Okay, well, maybe like a 3.5, 3.0.
I would say 3. But there's just sometimes you just get lucky. You know what I mean? It's like so you just go up there and you're like, "What's your best price on this?" And then you play the hard to get kind of game. And sometimes they throw out that offer and you're like, boom. When this went for the Batman 232, the person had I think he had like $150 price tag on it. And he was showing me like all the water damage on. I'm like, I think I'm gonna pass. And he was like, $80 right now, it's yours. It's just like I was just like in my pocket already. Like, yeah, there you go, $80.
That's why, like in my situation, like he had the owner there and the manager. The manager has obviously no attachment to the book whatsoever. He's just thinking it from dollars and cents. He saw the value. He was looking it up on eBay. It was like he was talking to the guy. We got to do this. He wanted to do it. And obviously the owner was too attached to the book. And I was like, oh man, if he wasn't there right there and then, he would have sold the book because that monetarily it made sense to him. But yeah, as a dealer, you don't want to you're putting up books for sale as a vendor. And if you're too attached to it, you shouldn't have the books up in general.
No, because they're just going to keep putting out what I call the not for sale price.
Yeah, I was like, because I talked to him originally, and he was like, "Well, I had $1,300, cash offers, and he turned them down." I was like, "Okay, so that's great. We got a starting point. This is as low as you're gonna go." So then that's when let's start making the deal. Let's start talking, and let's see where we can get. And then he wasn't gonna sell the book regardless. So I was like, "All right, well, this blows." Like after that, I'm done. I'm leaving. That's my afternoon.
Yeah.
Sorry, my kid came in. She was asking me a question. Okay.
But that's part of the fun, though. That's part of the fun, in the wheeling and dealing. If the deal doesn't make sense on both parties, it's never going to happen.
But I absolutely love wheeling and dealing. That's kind of like that's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I like it.
So we missed a whole bunch of questions. I want to try to get to those really quickly. I will say, in my opinion, the best thing to do is to make sure you have enough cash to buy books that you're looking for. Because I was looking for certain books. I'm like, hey, would you do this price on these books? I don't have any cash, but I would like the best deal. And he goes, I probably can't on that because, with the card percentages on that. And I was like, totally get it. So I put everything back. I didn't buy it because I wanted to get it at a certain price. So my suggestion to me and everyone else is next time, make sure you have enough cash to buy things that you want to get.
Yep. It's true. You always bring a comfortable amount of cash with you. And I think like if you're going to a con, I mean, I would say like $1,000. I mean, again, it's all up to what your budget is and how much you're willing to spend. But I think $1,000 is a good enough amount of cash. Always think too, if you want to try to hold on to your cash, the first thing I ask for is, do you take any cash apps? If you're spending if you're buying like dollar books, if you're spending like $100 or something, you know what I mean? Like, so that's the first thing I ask. Like, hey, do you have any cash app I could use? Do you take PayPal or stuff? I try to, I know Steve knows all about this, but I don't like paying for books with credit cards. So I try to stay away from credit cards, using my credit card at a Comic-Con. So I try to stay away with that. So cash is king, and try to use cash apps.
Yeah, and I agreed. And that's what I did. I brought $1,000 cash on me, and then those books to trade. And I knew with the cash and the books I had to trade, I had more than enough money to get that.
You should have been able to use that $1,000 plus your Savage She-Hulk 1 to get that.
That's what I did. So my last offer was my Eternals 1, 9.6 and 500 cash.
And they wouldn't do it. And
he said no. He was like, "Oh, I have an 8.0 right there on the wall." I was like, "Dude, yeah, but it's not a 9.6. That's why it's not selling."
Right.
I told him that, and everybody wants the high grade. You want the 9.6 or 9.8 with Eternals. So it's like I've had like hundreds of Eternals I sold, and I think everybody's Eternaled out. I was like, "Dude, you're at a con."
All right, so here's a question that was asked earlier. I'm going to my first con on the 14th in Sunrise, Florida. Not looking for grails, but want to get what I want for below FMV on raw bin books. Any advice? So we talked about earlier, try to have cash, try to negotiate, be willing to walk away. Because you can always come back if you can find a better deal at another place. For instance, at the mini-con I went to a week ago, there was a Department of Truth #1 at one place for $150. There was the same exact book at another dealer 100 feet away for $100. So just make sure you're finding the book you want at the lowest price so you can get your best.
Right. And I feel like 90% of the books you're looking for is probably going to be in multiple vendors there. So if you don't find it for the price you're looking for, don't spend it. Don't overspend. See if they're willing to negotiate a cheaper price, because sometimes they have to move the books regardless within the weekend. Otherwise, they have to bring it home or to the next place they're going to, and they don't want to do that. So, but if the price isn't right, just walk around, go to the next place, and then you can always come back later and see if they're willing to budge.
Michael Katz, my best advice to you, sir, is if you're not buying any big books or any big grails, so if your spending limit on our like $5, $10, $15 books, I would be prepared with like a wish list or a want list. And before you go to that con, look on eBay, see what the last sold prices are for those raw books. depending on condition too, try to look at the condition as well. Try to study the condition. So if you do find these books at the con, you can ballpark, if it was the same one, that same condition that sold for the one on eBay, and you can use your judgment there.
Boom. There you go. And try to bring in some trade bait books. Maybe they're books that, like, you're in your collection. They're nice books, but books you don't have to keep. Like for me, a book that I'll probably bring to the next con will be Venom 7 and a 9.8. It's a cameo of Dylan Brock. It's a first appearance, obviously. It's a 9.8. I'm not into the book a bunch, and it's worth over $100. So if I can get $100 to $150 in value for it in trade, great.
Wait, you're selling your 9.8?
I mean, I'm not selling my Venom 9.98.
Oh, damn.
7.98. Yes.
Oh, you're 7.98.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said Venom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not the Venom 9.
Hmm.
Yeah. So try to bring some books that you're willing to part with.
Yeah. Trading goes a long way, especially if you're looking for multiple books. The amount you spend at a convention can add up pretty quickly without even noticing.
Yeah,
it's true.
Kevin said it earlier. Try to have like a budget.
Yeah.
The first time I went to a con, I brought so much money with me, and I spent it all in the first like half hour to an hour.
Oh man!
So obviously I spent more. So I was like, I doubled what I had planned on spending. So always try to have a budget and bring enough in cash, so you don't have to go to an ATM or whatever.
I would try to stay away from ATMs. I've never used an ATM at a con because I feel like it's kind of like, I mean, this is sort of like the martial arts side of me. I'm always like trying to be prepared, right? Like I feel like going to an ATM at a con is just asking for bad news. Like there's people over your shoulder, so someone can rob you real quick. Someone can like have like those like little like scanners on them. I don't know. I stay away from. I might sound silly right now, but I stay away from ATMs at cons. I've never used one. But going back to something that you said about overspending, I remember going back to my first con, like when I was getting back into collecting again, and I spent $300 that weekend, and I felt so gross. I felt like I needed a shower for a week after that. I was like, I can't believe I spent $300 on comic books.
Right.
And tell me about it, like, because at Terrific Con, if you ever went, Terrific Con's in a casino.
Yeah.
Think about like the temptation you got there just to go there outside of the convention and just go gambling.
Oh, I totally. Beforehand.
So that's like other stuff like that can just get your money right out of your wallet pretty quickly.
I had to ask you this question from Carlito. I already
put it away. Put it away.
If you brought all the ones you don't want to keep to a con, and all the Secret Wars 8s that you don't want to keep to a con, I bet you could get an AF-15.
My Secret Wars 8s?
Yeah, you have like 6 of them.
I have 8.
Yeah. Well, okay, you have 6 that you're willing to part with, and they're all for like $150, $200.
So here's the thing, though, right? I mean, we're getting sidetracked now. I'd rather have my ASM 300s and my Secret Wars 8s over an AF-15. That sounds crazy, but that's
it does. But you know what? If you like those books,
that's how much I love those books. Okay. Like I say, it's a symbiotic bond. They won't let me get rid of them.
Oh boy. If you're there for the stars, the signatures, buy the fast pass or VIP. So if it's offered, it'll be worth it. Yeah, there you go. I use credit card because I have way more credit than money in my account. So I can buy way more money. Amazing, Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one thing I forgot to mention when you guys were talking earlier. If you buy more from a particular vendor, you're more likely to get a better deal. So let's say you're buying 3 or 4 big keys. When I said big keys, I'm talking like $100 plus, right? You're more likely to get a bigger deal on all of those if you buy more than just one, for instance. So,
Carlito, his mind has been blown from my last comment.
Oh, has it?
Oh shit.
Wow, Kevin, are you okay? I am perfectly fine.
Yeah, so there's another thing. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Signatures. Okay, so every con has creators there, whether they are or celebrities, whether they're creators or actually like TV, movie celebrities, and you want to get certain things signed, whether it's a poster, comic book, or whatever. If you're getting comics signed, though, my suggestion would be to create some signed windows in advance.
That's
Because if you don't know what those are, just Google it or go to YouTube and watch it. It's just ways that you can make your comic book bag still have the comic, but have an area for the creator to sign for you to either keep in your collection or to take over to CGC or CBCS. So try to get those done in advance so you don't having to pull it out of the bag. Try to hold it real carefully and get it signed. So,
yeah,
unless you don't care, like unless it's like a cover price book and you're getting it signed by Scotty Young and it's like, "What up, dude? How's it going?" And you just want to get it out real quick. It's not, and he doesn't charge anything. So yeah, for me it is. Scott, how dare you make fun of me?
Yeah, I would agree because there's been times when obviously we all start from somewhere. I was the noob at once, and I would go to cons with my books, right in their bags and boards, and I'm in line and I'm taking them out, and there's tape on the bag, and I'm trying not to get the tape on the book.
Very fast too.
Yeah, so you can make a slip and get tape on your book, and then your book is it's all messed up. He's done it. Oh no!
I've done it, but I didn't get the tape hole, so I had it on there. Just pull it off slowly, but the artist is right there, and they're like, you have like 5 books with you, and they're like, crap, try and take one up. There's like a lot of people behind you in line waiting, and you're like that newbie, that trying to get that book signed, and like, oh, I just got tape on there.
Oh yeah.
So you gotta be prepared.
That's not fun. Another thing too, this is something that a lot of people actually don't do, and I think it's kind of a shame. If you're getting a sketch from an artist, okay, and you agree on a set price for that sketch, you should be a good lad and tip your artist.
Oh, see, there you go. We're learning from the pros here. Say that one more time for the people in the back.
If you're getting a sketch from a comic book artist, and when you agree on that set price for that sketch, you should be tipping your artist.
Okay. What is a good tip? 10%, 20%?
Yeah, 15.
Okay. There we go. Make sure you know the rules beforehand. I was at a Marvel booth when they announced during the signing that no window boxes were allowed. Interesting. Mess. Wow, that is crazy. He says he disagrees with the tip. Okay. Well, I mean, I think it doesn't.
Unless you're getting from Neil Adams, he does that tip is already included.
Okay, I remember that video where you click on and Neil Adams is there, and you're like, honestly, Neil Adams is kind of a butt.
Yeah.
All right, what advice you guys have for talking to actual creators and getting things signed? Like, what are some tips you'd give people outside of getting their books ready, of course?
I don't know. Dave, you want to go first?
Just like breaking the ice with the artist or something.
Sure, like making the experience fun for everyone.
So if I'm just going there, I just usually like say something basic. Hey, I liked your book. I liked your either whether it's a cover or I liked your story that you've been writing for the past couple of years, whatever the case may be, and then just talk a little bit about the specific thing. And hey, do you mind just signing this book for me? Okay. At the same time, just little basic icebreakers, nothing crazy.
The only reason I asked is because Kevin said Neil Adams was a butt, and then sometimes people have the best experiences with writers, artists. For instance, when I met Tom King, it was amazing meeting Tom King. And then right next to him was Clay Mann, who was the artist. Everyone knows who that guy is. I did not have a pleasant experience with him. He just looked at me. I'm like, hey, how's it going, man? And he just signed it and just handed it to me. Just like didn't even bother.
Some people are like that. Some people are just like not even bothered to be there.
Azarella was another one that I met. Got stuff signed.
Oh yeah. He's a jerk. He's not a people person at all. I don't know. I just go up there. I just be me. You know what I mean? I just say, hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. I like I appreciate your work. This is some of my favorite things that you did, and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Nothing crazy.
So,
go ahead.
So I'm sorry. I was just reading Carlito Classico about if the book is if you charge us $500. So let me just ask the people who are watching. Okay, hear me out. If you have a tattoo on you, okay, you're supposed to tip your tattoo artist, right?
I would no idea.
It's the same thing. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely. You always tip the artist.
I would have no idea. I would have no idea. Did you guys, this is completely off topic, but did you guys tip your pastor or the person that married you guys when you guys got married?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we did. I didn't even know that was a thing until like a day or two before. And I was like, oh, I didn't know we were supposed to tip them. So there's always things that you should know.
If you're getting a service, you should tip. I mean,
Absolutely.
I just got my car detailed. What did I do? I tipped the guy. You know what I mean? You did a good job. Here's your tip, man. You know, some of those things that you're paying for, are covering, some of their trip and some of the supplies that they're bringing over. You know what I mean? It's just to show a little bit of more appreciation. You're going above and beyond. If this person is going above and beyond on your artwork, sketch, you know what I mean, taking the time to do it, show a little appreciation. Hey, here's a little tip for you.
Yeah, if you're providing a service, just give them a small tip. You get a haircut, you tip the guy, right?
That's right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I've gotten over 200 convention sketches, and I base tipping on the situation. If I give Art Drum $500, he's not getting a tip. Lesser known guys who knock it out of the park for cheap get tips. Yeah. See, there you go.
But at least we have a tipper here. So at least we have somebody who agrees with the tipping. Thank you.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Oh man. My other suggestion is like you may be very nervous when you get up there and there's a long line behind you.
Oh yeah.
Right? But here's what I'm going to say. You already waited in line a long time. Other people have been up there chatting it up with Stanley, whoever it is. You know what I mean? Do not try to enjoy yourself while you're up there. Don't get stressed out. Don't have anxiety. Just have fun while you're up there. Don't take too long, but don't don't rush it. You know what I mean? If you're waiting in line that long, don't rush it. Enjoy yourself. Talk to the artist, creator, writer, whoever it is, because you're gonna wish later that you would have talked to them more if you don't.
Yeah, because more often than not, they're just as excited to hear what you have to say about them as whatever question you have to ask them as well. So
yeah. Let's see here. Most of them don't give a heck and are just there for the buck. You can gauge by how the interaction with the person is in front of you guys. Oh, he's talking about talking to artists or writers.
But yeah, there are some, unfortunately, that are like that. I was there on Friday, and one of them was Tim Sale. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tim Sale.
Yeah.
Sale is
Steve doesn't like Tim Sale.
And
as an artist.
And he was, you could tell he was there for the commissions, and he tried to avoid signing books.
Really?
Until the very end. So I don't know.
Wow.
And I heard it from multiple people over the weekend.
That's crazy. Man.
Interesting.
We'll see you later. Wheelchair Superhero 87. Let me see if I miss anything. Not up there. Okay. What I'm saying is it seems like the price is inflated to include the service. That is all I'm saying. I'm a notorious overtipper. Okay. Cool.
Again, I'm yeah. I mean, you can gauge it and base it off whatever. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm just giving a tip, Carlito. I'm not saying you have to tip. Okay, I'm just giving a tip that it would be nice if you tipped your artist.
Okay. Let's talk about a few other things here. So, if you are preparing for the con, we talked about window bags, all that stuff. What are some other things you should bring with you to make sure that you have a good experience? We talked about trade bait. So
a mule.
Where are you going to put all that stuff? Where are you going to put the books you're going to get signed? You know what I mean? So I think having a store folio with you, among other things, I'll let you guys add stuff to that because I know you guys have a lot to add to that.
So so my friend will bring this leather satchel. That's kind of cool. I actually got a Venom backpack from Hot Topic that has a laptop insert, and it is absolutely perfect for slabs and books. So if you can find like a backpack with a laptop insert or a tablet insert, those work perfectly for cons because you can just insert books in there. It's perfect. So I try to bring a backpack. I always bring water with me, at least 2 bottles of water with me, because like my backpack has like the little like water nets. I try to bring like a couple of like snack bars on me too, because like if I'm like going to like Terrificon, for instance, like I'm not gonna eat there unless I'm like I'm absolutely starving, because like prices for food, like for a piece of pizza is like what, $10, something ridiculous like that.
In a casino.
Yeah. So I try to like bring like a little snack with me. What else do I try to bring? I try to bring books that I'm going to trade with or get signed. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and a charger. And I bring a charger, phone charger.
There you go. What do you have to add to that, Dave?
I know for people who haven't watched the video yet, I brought a big book bag. I had 2 store folios in there. I was able to put my slabs in there that I needed to. I brought a big thing of water. I had snacks. I had my charger and a charging station, like a portable battery to charge with. A lot of conventions I've been to has bad service. So you're not going to be able to use your phone anyways. But if you do, the battery drains pretty quickly. So it does help to have a portable battery. And bring deodorant, because you're probably going to stink walking around. And I walked around there. I was there like in the early afternoon. It was just a couple hours in, and I smelled a lot of BO walking around. What is going on?
All the time, right? You smell people, people are excited, man, and people get nervous and stuff. Yeah. And like whatever, but yeah, I remember going to Boston Fan Expo, and they had a sign that said, if you can afford the ticket, buy deodorant. It had like some sort of rhyme to it or whatever, but it was hilarious. I was like, damn, this is a true PSA right here.
Yeah. And then bring some snacks so you save your money for buying food. Goes a long way, especially if you're waiting in long lines.
For sure. Right. Other things I can add to that is just like, make sure if you are bringing, for instance, a store folio of comics to be signed, maybe have an extra one to put all the books that you may be buying while you're
there. And I brought like about 15 bags and boards, just blank bags and boards for like books just to be right there and then, just to be switched over. When I bought the Terrificon exclusives, I weren't sure if they were going to be bagged and boarded already, so I brought them just in case. And they were already bagged and boarded, so that was nice. But just bringing little stuff like that is helpful. I did see people bring in like wagons to put their big books, and like they had like a short box worth of books to get signed. That was pretty helpful. Just drag them around. That was nice.
I see that.
How many books you want to buy and bring around.
For sure.
And if you have that significant other who's down with it too and wants to go with you, it'd be like, hey, you go to that line and get that person to sign that while I go on this line. But that's if wifey, if you're watching, that's what I want you to do. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I don't.
And I brought my wife with me. She was very, very open to record while I was walking around, so that was really nice. And I had a little stroller where the little guy was sitting on. I was able to put more stuff down there if I needed to, so that was good. Little stuff like that.
Make a pack mule out of your wife. That's what I just pretty much. That's pretty much the tip I just gave out. Make a pack mule of your wife. Here, wear that backpack. Here you go. Follow me around.
Oh boy.
I need $20. Give me $20. Thank you.
That's usually what I do the night before. I'm like, you got any cash? Yeah, I do. Try to get there early because let's say they open at 9.
Carlito, hopefully you tip her. She don't come, so she don't get the tip.
Oh, amazing.
That was good. That was good, Carlito. That was
So
good.
if they open at 9, my suggestion would be there if you want to be there all day, or want to be one of the first people in there to get the books that are there that are priced crazy low. Show up an hour, 30 minutes to an hour early.
Yeah.
It means like parking like an hour early. Like I know that, for instance, for me, it's a 2-hour drive to Kansas City. So if it opens at 9, I need to be there at 8. It means I need to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, right? And then also know like when it's time to take a break. Like you've been standing in lines all day, getting signatures, flipping through boxes. Sometimes it's nice to just be able to just go to some of those Q&A with creators or celebrities or whatever. Or
Oh
just,
yeah, like the panels. Yeah.
yeah. Or just find a place to just sit down and play on your phone for 20 minutes, take a break, drink some water, all of that.
I actually have like the reverse method. So like you say like show up early. I actually show up later where there's like no line to get in. I still find. I mean, every con is different, but like Terrific Con, for instance, or Rhode Island Comic Con, I don't show up right when the doors open. I kind of like show up like a half hour, an hour later, and I can just walk right in. Everything's gravy at that point with me. I don't have to deal with too many people. They're just like, "Where's your ticket? Here's my ticket. Okay, go in." You know.
And I actually showed up a half an hour late to when they opened it because I got lost walking around in that casino, and it was fine. There was no lines.
Yeah.
I'm only getting bagged and boarded raw book. What type of holder and bag should I get?
I mean, I would try to get a bag and board that would obviously fit the book. You wouldn't want something that's moving around too much in your bag. So if like you're using like a, I don't know, like a Silver Age board and bag for a modern book, you know, like, you're not risking too much, but there's a potential there. I mean, I use a lot of Mylar, but if you're buying like dollar bin books, I mean, anything would be fine, man. As long as it's not touching anything in the bag, as long as your book is bagged and boarded, you should be good to go. But if there's a book that you want to keep in pristine condition, or maybe you spent even like over $50 for it, you know, bring a couple of those top loaders like I had in my comic books. So like if you have a comic book in one of these guys, again, which is called the top loader, you know, your book should be fine. Your book should be all right in a bag like this. So goes on the top like that. Hence top loader.
So maybe bring a couple top loaders with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy them at the con because they're gonna upcharge like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna probably be like $5 a top loader actually. So I would try to buy some online.
So if you're like me who's going to a con here in 3 weeks, I need to start loading up on supplies right now. Getting probably a dozen or more top loaders and a whole bunch of new bags and boards. My lights, they're going for a crazy amount right now. So see if your shop has them. I like to use my light 2s, 2 mil, but a 4 mil would be even better depending on the book. But if you're just getting, like you said, dollar books, cover price books, $10 or less books, honestly, just use regular bags and boards.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. You know, about 99% of my books are in bags and boards. I don't have Mylars. I just use regular. Lately, I've been buying just Silver Age bags and boards because it gives you a little bit more gap for those modern age books.
So, Storefolio. So if you don't know what a Storefolio is, let me grab one. So Storefolio is, and they have cardboard ones. I'm sure your shop has them. They're just these guys.
Mm-hmm.
They fold open, and then they close, and you put your books in there.
And how many books does that fit, Steve?
15, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. It's like, it's like 10 to 15 depending on the age of the book. Yeah.
So now all your books are in that hard, you know, sort of cardboard, and they're nice protected. You know what I mean? I've seen people just use straight up boxes too. I mean, but I think the Storefolio would work much better. It's a lot more organized, and again, it's made for the comic books.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, same thing. So the first con I went to, I didn't bring enough money. I got too many raw books signed that just by people that, I mean, it doesn't matter that it got signed or not, but unless you're one of the people that's like, I got to get everything signed, but I'm not. So yeah, I brought too many books to get signed versus just looking for books. So just know what you're going there for. We talked about that earlier. Figure out whether you're trying to get signatures, trying to get photos of celebrities, or if you're actively searching for keys, fillers, whatever it is. So I buy golden bags and boards and oversized Silver Age bags and boards. Okay. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I've seen that. The milk crates. Yeah. I've seen that.
Oh, don't be the guy with a short box on a trolley who goes to free signings. Well, each to their own. I definitely have never done that, but definitely seen a lot of people do that. Also figure out if you are going to get stuff signed, whether or not you want to get that graded, because I learned very quickly that if I got something signed, for instance, by JDF, the Green Ranger, if CGC is not there, they're not going to give you a gold label. So if you want CGC to verify it, they need to be with you, standing next to you as it gets signed, or you have them or the facilitator get it signed for you, which is what Dave did, correct?
Yeah, I had a facilitator, and they take their fee too as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they add their fee on top of it. So I'll give you an example. I brought 3 books, three modern books to get signed, and they charged, taxes, fees, all that. I only got 1 book pressed. It came out to $350 for a signature series, for the artist's actual fee as well on top of it, and then for the grading, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and even Fast Pass, right?
No Fast Pass, because it's not worth it. Right now, the current turnaround times is 102 days for moderns, and Fast Pass is only going to take out 8 days. So you're going to spend $10 extra for 8 days. It's not worth it.
Yeah, be expected to pay an upcharge from the artist or whoever signing the book if it's getting graded as well.
Yeah,
some people do that.
Yeah, so that's pretty common at conventions for them to pay a little extra for that. Whereas if you don't get grading, sometimes you can get the books for free.
So there's another thing you can do if you don't care whether it's CGC or CBCS. You just get a regular signature from someone. You can go over to CBCS. You're going to pay $25 for them to verify it at CBCS, but they now do yellow labels for signature series books.
That's such a big game changer, isn't it?
It's a huge game changer because the red label to me wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. But when it's yellow label, I mean, it goes with it. But
I think that's a psychological thing. I didn't mind the red label.
It is
because that's just my opinion. CGC had for the whole stigma forever that the yellow label is a signed book.
You're right.
No difference.
You're right. I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, and it's just, for me, it is a psychological thing because I only own CGC books. I've never done a CBCS book ever. I bought them for giveaways and whatnot, but I don't have a single CBCS slab for my PC. So
me neither.
Interesting. What about you, Dave? You have some. I know you do.
Yeah, I have probably like 6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah. I had one. I bought it at a con. And again, it was an older case, an older label, but it was a red label. And I purposely I don't display books. I purposely displayed it because I was trying to convince myself to like the book, and I was like, I know I can't stand it. I got to get rid of this thing. So I sold it and immediately used the money for a yellow label CGC.
Yeah,
there you go. See, it's just about all. It just depends on what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. So I've asked a bunch of questions about cons and all of that. What are some questions you guys have, not just for me, or for everyone, or things that you guys want to talk about that we have yet to talk about?
I don't know. I don't.
You guys ask the question.
I don't have any at the second. What do you go to cons for? I don't know. What's the name? What's the main priority? Because I know, there's people who go there for the comic books. I know people go there for celebrities. A lot of people just show up with their Kevin, you are a labelist. Yeah, I know like people like just show up in cosplay and like don't just show up and just take pictures the whole time.
Yeah, and that's one other thing I forgot to mention. So the cosplayers, in my opinion, do not take photos of them without their consent. Or if you're going to take a photo with them, obviously ask how much it is before you take a photo with them, or as Kevin says, tip them.
Oh, give them the tip.
I'll tell you what. So 2 years ago, we were at the Planet Comic Con in Kansas City, and me and D-Runk Comics were walking around, and Jessica Nigri is there. Which, if people don't know who she is, just go to Instagram, find Jessica Nigri. She's a very, very popular cosplayer. I've never seen a longer line in my life.
Wow.
What's her name? Jessica who?
Jessica Nigri, I think that's her.
Okay. I'll have to look it up. I've never heard her.
I'll remember one. I'll never forget one time. This is like one of the most obnoxious cosplays I've ever seen.
4 million people follow her on IG.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. It was like my first time getting back or going to a con. And this lady, I mean, hey, power to her, whatever. This lady showed up at this con with duct tape undies and nothing but duct tape on her Yahoos.
Yeah.
And every person, of course, wanted to take a picture with this person with her, and she was like delighted. She was like, yeah, come here.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously you guys have a lot more subscribers than I do. Would you guys ever entertain doing like a media pass at a convention?
I applied for one.
I've tried. Yeah, I've applied for many and they failed.
We'll see if I get one or not. The requirement were that you needed to have 10,000 unique views per month.
Oh,
So, there's requirements now.
Well, for the one that I went to. For the one that
okay.
I applied for. So I went and I filled it out, and then afterwards I did the math, and it was just over 10,000 views per month on my channel. I was like, sweet. Actually, I think I did it while I did it. There was like 10.3 thousand views on my channel.
Carlito, don't they know who you are?
They will. So if I get the media pass, what I'll probably do is I'll go for all 3 days, and I will try to do a lot for the channel there. And for panels, I'll try to interview people in person as well, talk to people that are there, highlights of it. I'll do a bunch of stuff for the channel, and then I'll probably do that all for one day, and then another day I'm probably just gonna have fun, go comic book shopping, hanging out with friends. That's gonna be the most fun, is hanging out with friends, for sure. Like JP Budget Collect will be there, I'll be there, Mike V will be there, so I think Becker is gonna be there too, and then a few other people as well. So that'll be fun. But other day, I don't know. I'll probably do a mix for the channel and just looking at stuff. If I don't get a media pass, I'll probably just go for one day. So
yeah, because I would imagine it would definitely change your strategy at the convention. If you have, I was talking to Otto, 3 Men in the Basement, because that was his first time hosting one at Terrificon, or one in general, and he said it's completely different now from that perspective versus if you're just going in there looking for the convention experience.
I so want to do what Otto did, and I've thought about that for like a couple of years, like before COVID hit, because like I actually wanted to get a booth just for the channel, and he did such a fantastic. Well, they all did, and I was like, man, like when I get back into cons, like I should do that, like just rent out a booth. Have like some monitors playing the channel while it's there, have some of my sketches out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Hey, look at that.
You notice it's in like all of the collection videos?
Yeah, I do, dude. I love it. Thank you.
Right, with the full signature and everything.
I did a Green Arrow commission the other day.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I can tell it's from the same artist.
You can tell, right? I have that style, right?
Yeah, you have the style down.
I have my distinct style now.
It's similar to Kevin Eastman, with the harder lines, and I like that. I like that.
I just made prints of the recent Turtles one I did too.
Are you going to start doing some more prints and whatnot?
Yeah. So I only 4 people pre-ordered the TMNT prints. So
how much were they?
25 plus shipping.
I'll go take a look at them here when I'm done. I learned a lot in the last year and a half from watching your videos. I was able to obtain some great books to get ready for Wanda, then Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki. Thank you, Michael Katz. I appreciate you watching my panel very much. Did very well in this book, by the way. Thank you. Cool. I love hearing when people say that they watch my channel and they learned a lot and they got some books at great prices. I that makes my day. It really, really does. I appreciate that.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna get a booth or not. Probably not, because it's just me. Versus 3 Minute Basement, there's multiple people in one channel. Or like Two Brothers Comics, there's multiple people in one channel. It's just me. You know what I mean? But if they do give me a pass, there will be me and one other person. So maybe we will. I don't know. We'll see.
Sick.
I went to a Marvel panel where there were people pulling people out of the audience to do a podcast game show with CB Cebulski, Nick Spencer, and Humberto Ramos. I got picked and did terribly. Oh, well, you were probably nervous and anxious and excited and all that.
It happens.
Yeah. I mean, I did.
Carlito, if you want me to draw a full ASM 300 book, I'll agree to that. I'll do that for you, okay? I'll do every single from page to page, buddy. I'll do it, but I'm gonna charge you a lot for those 300s. If you don't tip me,
all right. Now that we've asked all my questions, Dave, did you have any more questions? Because I do have one or two more. And then
no, go ahead. You can ask away.
Okay. All right. So you went to a con. I'm going to one, and I'm going to another mini con in October. Kevin said he's not going to one, but Kevin still goes to comic book shops.
I'm gonna try to convince him.
Yeah, you should. You should. Even if you don't buy anything, it's just fun to hang out. Like, there's nothing more fun than hanging out with the people that you talk to online all the time. Like, I talk to Panda all the time online, but seeing him in person, completely different.
Dave was like, "Hey, you should come out anyways, and come hang out with the community anyways." I was like, "Dude, that's like bringing an alcoholic to a bar. It just doesn't work that way. I'm gonna go there and hang out and still buy books anyways."
Well, there you go. I mean, I don't know how you can go to a con and not buy stuff. So,
it's happened to me once, though. It's happened to me once.
There you go. Well, make sure to click the link below to start your own StreamYard. So I can click on my affiliate link for that. Anyways, all right, so here's my question. What are some books you guys are looking for right now that you haven't gotten yet? So obviously, I know Dave is looking for a Golden Age Submariner. But what are some other books you guys are looking for right now? Whether you buy them at a con or flea market, comic book store, whatever. What are some books you guys are looking for? And maybe you can even say the grade or price if you want to. You don't have to. But what are you guys looking for right now?
You want me to go first?
Yeah. So if you're going to a con, let's say you're going to a con tomorrow, what books are you looking for?
So I was looking, like, besides that Golden Age Subi, I was looking for DC Comics Presents 26. I'm looking for that first full Teen Titans. Surprisingly, I did not find one there. I don't know why. I just didn't see one on the wall. And the other thing I was looking to complete was my Moon Knight Volume 1 run. I have 5-6 issues left.
Nice.
So I was looking through a couple of back issue bins. Didn't find much there. I found a ton of number ones. But that was primarily it. And that's really it I have on my like strategic hunt list right now, is those 3 things.
Okay. I like it. Kevino.
That's the first. I've never heard that one before. So this year alone is going in the books to be the most expensive year for buying comic books for me.
For sure.
I mean, I've bought 3 big keys already so far this year, and usually my rule is to stick to one. So the next book that I'm trying to save for, which is why I haven't gone to a con. okay? Because I'm trying to save for the next big key, and the next big key is the Giant Size X-Men #1. This is a book that I should have picked up sooner than later. There was a time last year where I could have gotten like a 4.5 for $1,000. And man, do I really regret not buying that book now, because that book is on the up and up. It's kind of dropped a little bit actually, because I've been paying close attention to it. So I would like to get a Giant Size X-Men #1. This book has been on the wish list for a while. Is just getting a Batman 232 signed by Adams. So that hasn't happened yet. But those are some of the big ones. I think I would actually like to get a Moon Knight #1 in a 9.8 actually. Dude, when I read that book, man, that book is really good.
Did you see that it made Tom's list?
No,
I don't watch too much of Comic Tom, to be honest.
that's why I was telling you a few months back when we talked to get one then, because now 9.8s are right around $1,000.
One sold the other day, a direct edition for $647 on eBay.
I saw that they listed it for. It was a quick list. Somebody got a nice deal.
Yeah,
the deals are out there.
Did you see sidetracked it yet again? Did you see Joe from the flea market at Terrificon? Because he did. You went there.
Joe.
Joe. He's the guy with the big plugs in his ear.
Oh no, I didn't see him.
You didn't see him, no.
What are called those gauges?
Yeah, gauges. He had a Moon Knight #1 the last time I went to see him, and I was like, if he's bringing that to the con, that's probably definitely going to be gone.
Yeah. And I saw quite a bit. There was a ton of Moon Knight ones there. I think Gary's booth alone had 4 of them.
Dang.
There was a lot of Moon Knight ones throughout the convention,
and they were all like with $1,000 or more price tag.
No, they were vast majority were raw.
Oh, raw. Okay.
Yeah, I only saw like maybe 2 or 3 9.8s there. Yeah, there was a ton of raw copies. But I did get this exclusive there.
Oh, that one's so sick, dude. That is got to be one of the best homages.
Look at that.
I recognize that one.
Look how nice it pairs with the Trey dress.
It looks so nice.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Let me do this.
That's why I was kind of happy, that I got this one over the Virgin. Granted, the Virgin was sold out when I was there, but they did get more the next day. But it looks so nice with the word bubbles.
Dude, it's a sick homage.
Yeah.
Like Ken Lashley did really
He did a really
nice
good
work on that.
But it's too bad he wasn't there. Would have gotten some signed by him, but
wait.
He did an amazing job on that.
Pre-ordered a set of that.
Look, here's my wish list.
Hold on.
Oh, jeez.
It's actually not that bad. It's really not that bad, actually. So we got Neil Adams 6, Batman 232, Tech 400 and 405, Phantom Stranger 14, which is like that prototype of Swamp Thing.
Oh, okay.
Batman 227 and CGC 8.0 or 8.5. Hulk 180 in a CGC qualified 6.0 grade, so I can match my 181. We got an ASM 346 signed by by Larson. Venom 3, Spawn 230, Web of Spider-Man 118. That book is on the up. First Scarlet Spider. Daredevil 168, first Elektra. So,
well, I like I said, I did send off 2 copies of Venom 3. So when they come back, we can probably do something.
Nice. See, I should just. I have 2. I should just send one off, but like I have. I hate playing that game. Sending in raw books to CGC and
hoping for the best.
Yeah, dude. Just a couple of months ago, I did it for the first time, and I think I officially can say I know what a 9.8 is, because I was like, these are 9.8s all day, and they came back 9.8s. So, like they say, there's a first for everything. I've been comic collecting again for I don't know. I think I'm on to like 6 years now, 5 years. I think it's 6 years. You and I started around the same time, I think, Steve.
January 2016.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, it's been a little bit. So first time sending in raw books to CGC to get graded was a couple of months ago.
Oh my gosh, it's been years since I did that. I've been doing it for 3 years now. So I feel you though. It took me a couple years. I'm looking for an ASM 300.
You want me to draw you one like I'm going to do for
I don't know
Carlito?
if you've ever seen one or not, but
I don't know what that book is, dude. Wait. You talking? Wait, is it this one? You talking about that one?
Yeah, that one. What's a grade on that one?
I would give it an 8.0 on that one. Maybe an 8.5.
What are you looking for, Steve? What grade?
What's the price on that one?
Wait, you looking for this one too?
Oh yeah. That's the one. That's the one.
That's the one?
Yeah. What's the grade on that one?
8.0 to 7.5.
Pass.
You looking for this one too?
Oh yeah. That's the one. Yeah,
oh, this is the one. Ooh. This one's actually pretty nice. You're looking at a 9.0 to a 9.2 on this one.
Yeah. What's the price on that?
Yeah, that's the right
What's
one.
the price on that one?
Yeah.
Just give me Addy, bro. A-okay all day. How about this one?
Oh yeah. That's the one.
That's the one?
That's the one.
Wait, are you sure this is the one? Because this could definitely be the one too.
Oh yeah. That's the one. Oh my goodness.
Oh, might as well. We can't leave this one out. This is the last
Yeah,
one.
that's the one.
I would be shocked if I ever sent these out and I got one like better than the graded one that I have. But this one is pretty freaking minty. I don't think I would get anything above a 9.6.
Well, folks, he's not selling us.
Carlito, feast your eyes. Oh, it's hot back here. Let me fan myself here.
I would like to get a 9.0 to 9.4, preferably a 9.4. They're going for around 1,400 on eBay.
That's what they're going for now.
A 9.4?
Yeah, they were 500 a year ago.
Dang.
A little over a year ago. Maybe like a year and a half ago.
I paid $275 for mine.
No.
And that was below GPA at the time too. Because
it was 8.5 at my shop for $275 a year ago. A little over.
I think at the time when I was looking to buy one, they were going for about $330.
You guys have a lot of
Books are nice, but look at those top loaders. What's wrong with my top loaders?
I'm also going. No, he said those are nice. Look for a TMNT 1 third print. So,
there was a ton of them there at the convention.
See, there you go.
TMNT 1.
An act of kindness. That is when someone sends someone something for free to be nice to them.
To be honest, I think a TMNT 1 is like out of my realm.
I think a TMNT 1.
You talking like a first print?
First print is definitely out of the
first print. Oh yeah.
No, like I even think like a third print is even like reaching that out of the realm. Maybe no. Like what?
Here's my thoughts on that.
You can get one. They're affordable.
The third print is priced too high. Like 9/8 of that are going for like $6,000. Like that's way too high for a third print. Like that's how much an ASM 300 costs.
So like my friend, right? We were always talking about that story about like him, like, oh, I'll do another loop around on that TMNT 1 third print. I was like, no, you go get that right now. His came back a 9.6.
Oh my god!
Wow,
a 9.6. And before he got a press, I was like, dude, this thing is like a 9.2 all day. I was like, you should get this thing pressed out. And it came back that 9.6. That's unbelievable, dude. You paid $80 for that book. $80 raw.
Wow.
I am freaking jealous of that. I'm gonna look up recent sold prices for that. Now that you say that, TMNT.
Yeah. If you're still looking for that book later, I'd wait. It's going to continue to go down.
And I think like the week after he bought that book for $80 is when that book started spiking, to be honest, because someone had one for sale on IG. And I was like, "Hey man, how much are you looking to get for that?" He's like, "Oh, it's $300." I was like, "Oh man, like what the hell happened? Like, what happened to this book?" And I started going on eBay. I was like, "What happened to this book? This book literally just exploded."
Yeah, for sure. A third print sold in May. A third print 9.6 sold in May for $3,200.
Okay, I would do that.
Is that what you're looking for? Are you looking for 9.6?
You would do $3,200 for a 9.6 third print?
I wouldn't.
No? You think that book's going to go down?
Here's what happened.
I think that book's going to go down after Last Ronin.
I do too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see.
You'll get some value out of it.
Unless I can get one at an insane price at a con, which normally they're priced too high because there's people there that are wanting to buy books. But I don't know. I do think it'll go down. I was $50 away from buying a 9.6 to a 9.8 candidate of a TMNT 1/3.
Oh wow!
He wanted $950 for it a couple months ago. Right? It was the day before I crashed my car.
I remember this.
And I sent in an offer for $900. And he said he'd think about it. He'd let me know the next morning. The next morning, I hit a deer. And he rejected my $900 offer. And
that's
then
rough.
And then he pulled the ad, decided not to sell it. And then a month later, he relisted it for $1,900.
Wow.
So I should have just paid $50 more and just gotten it.
I got a question now.
You go ahead.
So what would a TMNT second print slab get you in the price of that 9.6 $3,200?
That's a great question. Well, I know there's one in Kansas City right now, actually, at a comic book shop that is a second print that's minty. And I think he's wanting $1,500 for it. I'll look up the FMV real quick for you, though. I don't know.
The raw copy?
I know it's normally about 1.5 times of what a third print is going for. So they made like what, 3,000 or 3,500 of the first print, and then there's 6,000 or 6,500 of the second print. And then okay, here we go. Second printing. 9.6 is 7,200, and 9.4 is $6,000.
Wow.
And 9.2 is $6,000, and 9.0 is $6,000. They're all 9.0 to 9.4, all $6,000.
But how much? So for the price of the 3,200, 7.5. That's what I was gonna guess. I was gonna guess 7.5. I mean,
yes.
So like, here's the battle you got to play, right? Would you rather have the third print in a higher grade, or that one step closer to a first print in a low grade? What would you personally do, Steve?
I would probably do the third print just because I like the higher grade.
Yep.
Because it's neither one are first prints, so what's the difference?
Yeah.
Or do you get the fourth print, which is a different cover?
I don't want that. unless I can get it for $100. That's high grade, $150. No, don't want it.
Adrian says third print high grade. Yeah,
that's exactly it. That's the ticket. Though, maybe I'll go up to Kansas City and look at that second print. If it's still there, because $1,500 for a high grade second print. I mean, that's not bad, but that's still a lot of money. I did get this the other day from 9panel.com, and I showed it earlier. I'm still just so happy about it. First Wally West, love me some Wally West. Everyone knows that. So that was on my list for the year. But outside of ASM 300 and TMNT 1, just fillers and Batman. Anything Batman key related that I can get for cheaper, I'll get it because I can always upgrade later.
I mean, I think because I know you can submit sometimes. I know you say you haven't done it in a while, but I think your best bet is to do yourself some self grading, buy an ASM 300 raw, and send it in. But I'll tell you though, I forget who it was on Instagram, but CGC is not accepting ASM 300s as moderns anymore.
No, they're not, because the price of okay, I'll show exactly why. Give me a second.
Oh, is it because of the value of the book?
Yep.
The value of the book.
Yep, that's all.
I saw that on the CGC Facebook page you and I are both on.
Gotcha.
And yes, I am selling on 9panel.com. I have one listing on there. They are a sponsor of the channel as of right now. They might be sponsoring some more stuff. So just like eBay and Mercari, essentially. So,
damn, Steve White. Here's a heartbreak. My wife's cousin used a TMNT #1 first print as a coloring book.
No.
Send that person to prison.
No.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
Okay, hold on one second. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. I got it ready. It's ready. It's ready. And then we'll get out of here in a couple minutes. Okay. Alrighty. So modern is only up to $400 in max value. So I'm assuming they upped it to standard. Am I correct there? It's got to be, right?
Yes, I believe so.
It could be.
Because this used to be 200 for modern.
Yep.
And they've upgraded that to 400, and then standard to 1,000.
I think I'm going to, I will play the CGC game soon, because for the longest time I've actually been on the fence about sending this in, and I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to send that in.
Nice.
Dude, that book is going for crazy amounts of money.
That's a great book to send off right now.
Because I think this book could potentially be like a 7.5, 8.0 candidate, to be honest. If it got anything lower than that, I would be pretty bummed out.
You said a 7.5?
That's going for big bucks right now.
That is going for big bucks right now.
I was going to say, even a 5.0 is going for big bucks. A 7.0, geez.
7.0.
Get a close up on this, because this thing is pretty damn clean.
Nice.
Look at the spine.
7.0s are going for 3,200.
I think it could definitely be a 7.0 candidate for sure.
7.0 or 7.5?
It's 7 range, I think. I really do. Like an 8.0 could be too high for it, but I mean the book is freaking clean.
You're looking at 2,500 to 4,000, depending on if it's a 7.0 or 8.0.
Hoarder's Hide. I know there is definitely no color touch on this. I know the person who I got this from. He was the original owner of the book. If this thing came back as a purple label, I would be absolutely shocked. But when I sent it to the presser too, he never said anything about color touch.
Now, is that a book that you would part?
No.
I was going to say, not for me personally. I'm just saying that you could get your giant size X-Men with that book.
Yeah, probably. But I do love this book, though. I mean, especially with the backstory. The backstory is, if this person had not given me this book, I probably would have not bought it, even though I did want to buy it for the future.
Gotcha.
He already said he wouldn't sell all his ASM 300s for an AF-15. So. Yeah,
no, I rather just
that's
add to the collection. Would you say what, the AF-15? No,
it's crazy to me.
When I see an AF-15, okay, like it's just such an unreachable, untouchable book. Again, going back to like when I first going back into cons, I remember a 0.5 AF-15 was going for like $7,000. Like it was like a little bit under, but it was close enough. You know what I mean? But that's just a book where like I wouldn't want to spend that much money on a book ever like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you sell all of those,
you could get one.
Any money.
Yeah, you could definitely get one.
You could get one.
Yeah, but again, in AF-15, I don't know. We're talking about the first appearance of Spider-Man. Like that is huge, huge.
I know. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Well, maybe you'll do it one day. Maybe you will.
Maybe.
I don't know. You guys got anything else you guys want to talk about for cons or anything?
No, just don't forget to feed the mule when you bring a packing mule.
Have fun. Go see people you know. Try to go with someone, whether it's your wife, friend, someone in the community. Just have fun.
Just have a blast, and nerd out responsibly.
Yeah, just have a good time and just have like have a little bit of a game plan going in, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure. Oh boy.
We're getting punchy. An hour and a half. We're getting punchy, man.
That was too much.
Especially I like bud people.
Yeah. All right. I want to talk about a few things here, and then we'll get out again. 2 minutes. Go with low expectations and don't get disappointed. Be comfortable with walking away without what you wanted because you didn't get it at the right price. You can always wait till later.
Absolutely.
A week or two before I bought this, one sold for more, and half of the back was ripped. And I was bidding on it, and I'm glad that I did not win it because I got this instead, higher grade. So it happens.
That's pretty cool.
Wow. All right. I'm going to talk about 3 things here. If you're a family tier member, you're entered to win this month's Burke Box. This is the Burke Box this month. We have a print up here by Austin LeMay. It's not a print. It's original art, of Venom. Goes great with the next book, which is a Venom 9 in a near mint condition, in my opinion. I would get it pressed and then send it to CGC, hope for a 9.6 or 9.8. If it were me that won the box. Next to that, we have a Absolute Carnage Miles Morales #2, signed by Clayton Crane because he's a cover artist.
Nice.
And we have a 616 Nonstop Spider-Man #1, and Negan Lives #1, a Mighty Morphin #7, 616 exclusive by Bob Bernardo. We have a couple of Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters #1. We have the Jung trade dress and the Villanelli Virgin. And then we have a Checkmate #2. Both of those are 616 books as well. Legends of the Dark Knight #1, Fabric cover, 616 cover, and Batman 108, First Full Miracle Molly, Carla Cohen, 616 book. If you are one of the Burke family tier members, you're entered to win. If you'd like to be, click the join button below or click the link in the description of every one of my videos. You have to be a family tier member by, I think it's Thursday this week, August 5th. So that is what you're entered to win. If anyone is a lower grade or lower tier and they want to upgrade, they got to do it by then. Thank you to the 616comics.com for sponsoring that monthly Burke Box. Make sure you guys check out the 616comics.com for all of your exclusive variants and all of your comic book needs. They have lots of awesome books, and they now have statues as well. And they have that Moon Knight #1 Ken Lashley cover. Thank you also to the channel members. In the family tier, we got Flash 6792, Collectibles Lounge, Adrian Panda, Hoarder's Hide, Nick's Kicks and Comics, Blue Hellion Comics, Cardboard Crazies, Small Time Collectibles, Legion of Comics, Warlord, Paul Rogers, Oregon Wine, Jonathan Michael, Remy, Q Studios, who will actually be on here tomorrow night for episode, I think it's 8 of Meet the Burke Fam. Jay Kuros, Pip Getler, Slaughtered Up 503, DJ Lynx, Austin LeMay, Comic Book Poser, Actual Dracula, Tramato Cinema, Kadrana Prince, and Carlito Classico. Thank you guys so much for being in the family tier. And again, they're entered to win that monthly Burke Box brought to you by the 616comics.com. In the friend tier, we got new guy, Adrian APM, Dale of Suspense, and Becker is now actually in the family tier. I forgot to update that graphic. That's my bad, Becker. A link to everyone's Instagrams or YouTube pages is in the description of every single one of my videos. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you, Dave, for coming on. We had a great time. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for coming on. We had an awesome time. And as always, go Cats, Cowabunga, and it's Morphin time.